True or false? Accomplishing a big goal requires a massive time commitment. If you're talking about becoming a doctor, this is probably true. If you're talking about starting a family, this is definitely false. Most men can help make that happen in under 2 minutes. If you're talking about preparing for a marathon, it's true. But if your goal is to become strong, metabolically fit, and improve your cardiorespiratory fitness, the answer is false. Yes, you need to exercise consistently over time. But contrary to what we're told and often believe, the weekly time investment is very little, like 9 minutes a week little, as shown in this research paper, as well as many others comparing high-intensity exercise to moderate-intensity exercise. In many of these studies, the difference in weekly training time was between 50 and 97% less for the groups exercising at a high intensity. In absolute terms, we're talking 6 to 75 minutes of weekly exercise for the high-intensity groups versus 120 to 250 weekly minutes for the moderate-intensity group. The research is strongly in agreement that exercise which demands a person's highest effort will produce results equal to or greater than moderately hard exercise performed for extended periods of time. Although much of the research has been on endurance exercise, the rule doesn't only apply to cardiorespiratory fitness. It also applies to strength and muscle development. Now, if you want to argue that 9 minutes a week of resistance training is an insufficient amount of training to maximize muscle hypertrophy, I would tend to agree. However, if you want to point to bodybuilders performing massive volumes of exercise that consume 5 to 10 hours a week, I'd say you're pointing in the wrong direction. It's true, they do massive amounts of volume, even at a high intensity, but it's also true they use massive amounts of anabolic drugs that allow for both. For natural, non-assisted men and women, the consensus among the top exercise scientists is that 4 to 10 high-intensity sets per muscle per week will produce nearly 100% of muscle and strength gains. Any amount above that is likely to not produce much in the way of additional gains and may in fact impede development by digging a deeper hole that your body must recover from. A well-devised resistance training program can easily have you meet these volume requirements for hypertrophy and strength in 1 to 3 workouts a week, totaling 15 to 90 minutes. In addition to muscle and strength improvements, such workouts can also produce the same cardiorespiratory benefits you would get from endurance training.